In this video, we are going to present to you how to create a QR code lesson, which is really pretty simple to do. We are going to follow these steps that you see outlined for you, and you've hopefully noticed that on this web page you have this as a PDF file, allowing you to print it out and follow the video as we show you. Once you've created one QR coded lesson, you could probably create an awful lot more. Okay, so this is just the introduction to it. You'll notice that we're going to use Microsoft 2010, and you can also use a newer model. And like I said, we will step through all of the things that you currently see listed here for you, allowing you to do that. And at the very end, we're going to show you how you can copy your QR code to your document. Everything will be presented to you in detail, so there's no question. We've opened up Microsoft Word, and if you looked at the directions, what we're going to do, here's the cursor, is create what we like to call a buffer. I'm going to hit it 4 or 5 times, then move the cursor back up. Next, we can type in a heading, or in this case I'm going to click on the word Insert and Word Art, and I'm going to use this one, and we're going to place a short heading just to make it a little fancy for you. Okay, I've typed in Lesson on Addition, and I'm going to move it up right about here. Next, I'm going to click on Page Layout, and what I would like to do is click on Page Color and Fill Effects. And in doing so, I'm going to click on Texture, and the texture I want is the stationery because it's nice and simple and easy to read. Next, if you want to, I'm going to create on a border. In this case, I'm going to use red, but you can choose any color you want. I'm going to place it around the paper. And the thickness here, as you can see, I'm going to make it is 6 points, and simply click on OK. So now we have a border. Now, the next thing we may want to do is change the size of our paper. To do that, where it says Page Setup, click on my down arrow. You'll see it's in Portrait. If we needed to, we could change the orientation to Landscape. Now, if I feel I need more room at the top or at the bottom, I simply will reduce those, and also my margins on the left and the right. Optional for you to do that. I'm going to click on OK. And you can see by doing that, it moved this up to the top. Now, let's go to the next part of our lesson. If you recall, we hit our Enter key a few times to create a buffer. I'm going to come up here at the top. I'm going to type in the word name, highlight it, make it bold. Now, since it's highlighted in bold, I'm going to increase the size to 14, and I don't want to use Times Roman, but you can. I'm going to change mine to Comic Sans. Okay. Now below that, I'm going to place my number. I'm going to hit my space bar a few times to line it up, and I'm going to type in the number 10 and hit my Enter key and move it over again and type in my next number, which let's say is a 10. But you notice there's a space in between. What I'm going to do is highlight that, and you'll see at the top it says normal and no spacing. Click on no spacing, bold, and I'm going to make these 18. Now the bottom one, I'm going to highlight it and put a underline so it has an underline next to it. And right next to it, I'm going to hit a plus sign. And you'll notice when I've done that, it moved over one. So I'm going to hit my space bar and line these up. Okay, once I've done that, watch carefully. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to type in the number 40. Now when I go to the next line, I'm going to be down here. So I have to hit my space bar again and come over. And I'm going to type in a 10. And I'm going to put a plus sign before it. I forgot to before. And hit my delete key to move it back. However, you notice both lines are highlighted with an underline, so I'm going to highlight them again and click on underline so they're both gone. Next, I'm going to highlight just this section here and click on underline and highlight this section here and click on underline, and now it'll be pretty simple. So our first one, we have a problem of 10. 10 plus 10 is 20, and 40 plus 10 is 50. Those are the two numbers we will place in our QR code later on. Now, let's say you wish to type in a question, and you can put that in your QR code also. Let me show you what I mean. Now, as you can see, we just typed in, who is the first president of the United States? So we can ask as many questions as we want, and we can put as many numbers as we want. Now that we've done that, I'm going to save it first as a document, and then later on I will save it as a PDF file. But let's open up our QR creator and see how that works. Let's do that next. This is the QR code generator, and we place our information in here, and our QR code will appear here. Now, if you recall, the answer to the first one, 10 plus 10 is 20, and I hit my space bar a few times, and the next one was 40 plus 10 is 50, and hit my space bar. Now you may wish to come up here and type in a number 1. I usually like to put a right parenthesis so you know that's number 1, and then again we're going to put a number, hit your space bar, a number 2 with the right parenthesis. And the last thing we asked was number 3. Question number 3 was, who is the first president of the United States? Now, as we type those in, your QR code changed, and what we want to do is copy this and place it in our Word document. To do that, it's pretty simple. I'm going to click on this little icon here. It says download. When I click on download, we want to click it or change it to a JPEG. So I'm going to click on the JPEG. At the very bottom of your screen, it should say, do you wish to open it up? Let's hit open. And when we open it up, the following screen will appear. And this is our QR code, which we can probably scan in. And it's best that you scan it in right now to make sure it's correct, and that is what you wish to use in your program or your lesson. Now, what I'm going to do is click on the word File and hit Copy or Control C. And when I've done that, I now go to my word processing document. I'm on my word processing document. I'll place the cursor right there, hit Control V to paste it, and you'll notice it's rather large. I'm going to double click on it and grab this handle and make it a little bit smaller, not too small, not too big. And when I double click on it, in the upper right hand corner, we hit text wrapping and tight. And then I'm going to move it right about here. And so it sticks out, I'm going to click up here and puts a little black line around it. We don't want that one, we want this one. And if you click on this QR code, it will give us with the answer for the first one, which is 20, and this one, which is 50. And obviously the first president of the United States, it'll say in here is George Washington. Hopefully all that made sense. Now the next thing we want to do is save it. You must always save it first as a Word document before you save it as a PDF. The reason is, if you make a mistake, you can always go back to the Word document and make a correction. If you save it as a PDF, it's done. You have to recreate it again, and not from the very beginning, but it just makes it more complex. So let's show you how to do that. So to save it first, just simply click on, like you normally do, File, Save As, and give it a name, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call this Lesson -1 and hit Save. Now it's saved as a Word document. Next, I want to save it as a PDF. So I'm going to click on the word File, Save As, and to save it as a PDF, it's really quite simple. Here it says Word 1. Click on the second down arrow and click on PDF. Then simply click on the word Save. And when you do that, it automatically saves it as a PDF file. So it makes it more professional looking, and it holds your colors and everything else a lot better. Hopefully all of this made sense. And after you've done a couple of these, you'll see they really become quite easy to do. Thank you for watching our video.